Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much. Welcome to Punchline Africa television broadcasting from the Political Command Center in Africa, in headquarters. Good morning. This morning, we are only going to broadcast and bring out the Good Morning Show Africa that talks about Africa, what ails Africa. We shall look at the newspaper headlines in Kenya, political happenings, tides, waves, tsunamis, earthquakes. Whenever you talk in Africa, it has always come and it is coming here. In Kenya faces election in August 2022. How far will this election go? How will they conduct an election when they are already breaking so many rules? We look at the register. Is it there? The IEBC seems to be telling us that up to today they are chasing the issue of two-third gender rule, which could actually make every party not possible. What about if people decide to choose only men? What will you do to the next parliament? Will that election be valuable? Let's look at this and many other stories. Good morning, I'm Dr. David Matanga, the founder and the chairman of Punchline Africa TV, all the way. And later on the top of the hour at 11 o'clock, after we have done a marathon of 1 hour and 20 minutes on Kenyan news and the things that touch Kenya, we shall be going back out on diplomatic leaks on Africa. We want to find out the United States sanctions against Zimbabwe and the regime change mechanisms. Yesterday, Zimbabwe could not actually, we are told not to come and eat, not to walk, not to dance, not to drive. But Zimbabweans defied the order of the opposition. They came in big numbers to work, open their shops. Is there an opposition remaining in Zimbabwe? Is there an opposition remaining in some of these African countries? The opposition that relies on George Soros for handouts. The opposition that relies that George Soros, our opposition leader flies out of the country to go and pick dollars and comes to make you be beaten up in Kampala, in Khartoum, in Harare, in Malawi, in Tanzania, in Kenya. Is that an opposition leader you want? Or you want a constructive, positive opposition? When will Africa have constructive, positive opposition? We have seen several countries across the continent of Africa. One of the countries that has opposition which is constructive is South Africa, followed by Ghana. And then we'd have a constructive opposition also in Nigeria, despite the hiccups that they have. These are the issues that we want to look at later on at 11 o'clock. Zimbabwe, which way United States sanctions have been hitting this country, making it bleed. They don't want to allow them. Now they have moved closer, opened up embassy in Zambia. What is the purpose of the embassy? Not even an embassy. A full-fledged AFCOM, sort of militarized headquarters. What is it that is in the hinterland that the US would like to protect? Are we having a wipeout of liberation movements? Don't miss that topic. It is going to be very interesting. With me today to analyze the stories this morning is none other than Gladwell Kiragu. Good morning, Gladwell.
A very good morning to you, Doc. Good morning to our viewers. I'm privileged to be on the panel this morning.
Are you in Homa Bay?
No, I'm in Kiambu County.
Yeah, because usually you shock me when I want to talk to you. You are saying, no, I'm in Homa Bay. So say, good morning, Gladwell. What is the situation down in Kiambu County?
The situation, Doc, it's kind of changing. I'm yet to adjust to the music that is coming in day, in, out. I'll let you know by the end of the day as I do my survey today.
Thank you very much. Meanwhile, in Nairobi, Kenya, the capital, Miriam is not there to punch us the news, but from the headquarters, where I'm seated right now, I have Kalonzo Musyoka has gone for the interview. Is it good news for you?
Yes, Doc, I think it is good news. It is good news.
I think you and I are on the same page. Me, on this one, I want to tell you, Gladwell, I have something in my heart, and my heart has never betrayed me. I have something that Kalonzo could be the deciding factor of this election. And therefore, because, the vote in the mountain is there, but there are factors that are surrounding those votes. We have elements like Moses Kuria, who are actually diverting the voters to something debate that we don't know. Ruto has poisoned the mountain. He's gone deep. He told them lies. He told them he's going to make the whole mountain, even reduce its size, from 14,000 feet above the sea level to maybe 60,000 feet above the sea level. And everybody in the mountain will be happy driving a car. This is the bottom-up approach that we have been lied to. Ruto took lies to that region. Ruto took a lot of poisoned the people's minds. The boda, the Mwanamboga, the youth, poisoned across the whole country. That he is the new Messiah. A Messiah who has not declared his riches. He has not told, as Jesus told Zacchaeus, if you want to enter the kingdom of God, because Ruto and the family and the woman and the wife, they go on telling us they are more religious than other people. But they have never returned everything to God, and they claim that they want us to be told that they are more holier than us. Have you returned the things that you took, which was not yours? Forget about this public posturing. Let's look at, is it yours? You have a hotel. Is it yours? Did you finish someone in order to get some piece of land? Up to last week, Ruto grabbed a 50-acre. The people are there. The woman is in Nairobi. The woman has gone to DCI headquarters and wants protection. People are not talking about it. This is a widow who has lived on land for 57 years. Then you call yourself, we should keep quiet because you are only praying and you change water. Why don't you walk on water now? If Mama Rachel can change water, can she also walk on water? Water is coming. So this is a family that has told us lies. Changed the whole thing of Mount Kenya. Poisoned the people. Poisoned the... I'm happy that Kiragu is still is not poisoned at all. Kiragu, don't you think so?
Yes, Doc, I'm not poisoned.
So hasn't he poisoned most of your friends?
To be honest, Doc, most of the Mount Kenya, let me say, it is poisoned. They are manipulated.
They are manipulated. Can you go ahead and expand more to our viewers how Ruto manipulated Mount Kenya? Because it's one of the topics we are going to hinge on. And when we are looking at Mutua, the money and the democracy, what type of democracy do you want?
Doc, as I said earlier, that Kenya, we lucky we got independence, but the current state we're living on, we're living in, it's like we don't have the freedom any longer. And most of the Mount Kenya people, we allowed the William Samoei Ruto to come in, and what he did, he manipulated the Mount Kenya people, and he spoiled them. And that's why currently the Mount Kenya, it's unbearable. There's no other name that is being shouted out rather than the UDA and Ruto. So I think we gave him a chance. And Doc, yesterday, as we were explaining that Uhuru has done much. Yes, he did much, but at the same time, we opted when we needed to hear his voice. He needed out to come to Mount Kenya people and explain why he's actually backing up Raila Odinga. But at the same time, he didn't, and that's hence gave a chance to William Samoei Ruto for him to come to Mount Kenya. Remember, also Ruto started his campaign 4 years back, so he is well established in Mount Kenya. He has sold out his manifesto, which to the people, and that's when the people of Mount Kenya are actually chanting his name.
You are put it candidly. You are one of the generations in Mount Kenya. Your age limit, age members, the age mates. They have chanted the name. They have made the name. He has told them, I am the Messiah. I'm the Messiah, the man you should choose that God sent on earth to liberate you from poverty. And that poverty based on lies, a doctrine based on lies, not on facts. People have agreed. When you go to Mount Kenya, you were telling us the other day that if you drink, you are drinking in a drinking place and you have gone for tea or coffee, and then you start saying Kenyatta is this, Kenyatta is this, people want to throw stones at you. Did you say that again?
Yes. What I said, Doc, is let's have for example, when you go to the Western, what they happen there, you just can't go and sell somebody else to them apart from Raila Odinga. But what did we Mount Kenya people do? We allowed, I'm not trying to be tribal, no, I'm not, but we allowed somebody else to come and take control of the Mount Kenya. And hence, that is actually, and Doc, can the people get me right? I'm not tribal. We allowed William Samoei Ruto to come and actually turn and come manipulate the people's mind. Something that has never happened, but it is happening for the first time, I think, in history in Mount Kenya. Somebody else coming in, somebody else who's not from Mount Kenya and winning over the people of Mount Kenya.
Gladwell, this guy wins over Mount Kenya, consolidates his home yard, home backyard. You know, the Kalenjin vote is firmly in the hands of Ruto. And this is the politician who went out to destroy his friend, his legacy. You are an expert on legacy. You have been one of my researchers for legacy trend across that region. How do people feel about Uhuru Kenyatta and the legacy that he has left? I see roads being dug. I see almost everywhere there is a grader making noise in the villages. Some places are there you can pass and say, oh my God, this is an area for 1 million years. It has never had a bicycle passing through. But today we have a place where even, you know, you can even sit on the tarmac and see either the monkeys or the baboons only having sunshine. And this is something that Uhuru Kenyatta has managed. The tea farmers, the coffee farmers, the rice farmers, all the farmers, they are happy across the country of Kenya. A few pockets here and there, people who don't want to work, be thinking that Kenya is a communist state. Kenya is not. Kenya is a capitalist state. Therefore, if you want to work, you work and get what you want to get. But if you stay home and wait and say God will help us, then God might not help you when you are not helping yourself. So are you telling me that surely all this dream, as you have concluded, as you have put it, as you know very well, your worry, is this vote safe?
Doc, I'll be honest. Despite some of these people saying Uhuru Amaliza, and there's something positive I want to say about Uhuru. And first of all, to Uhuru Kenyatta, he was a good student of the late Emilio Mwai Kibaki. Reason being, he continued with his legacy, and most of the development, the infrastructure, we can see the express highway, the beautification of those plants, the roads, the infrastructure. Some of these agriculture sectors have actually improved. of Uhuru. So I think in development, Uhuru has worked, and yes, his legacy will still stand. And another thing I will say to Kenyans, those saying that Uhuru amaliza ende, you will be shocked that when Uhuru's term comes to end, we will live to remember Uhuru as also the best president of Kenya. As we can see, Doc, when we had the marathon the other day on Sunday, we can see how well he interacted with the people, how well he joined in them, how well he cheered them up because of the victory, because he's a man of the people. So I wish to say that Uhuru's legacy, he has actually maintained it. He was a good student of Mwai Kibaki, and the infrastructure, we are proud of it.
Thank you very much. We are proud of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta for the infrastructure, the electricity, the water, the roads, the hospitals, the schools that have been done. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the good job that you have done. People will remember, history has it that even some people today say Hitler was not bad after all. He made Germany look as it is today. Look at Germany. Is Germany not giving us money? Wasn't it the German that was wiped down? Wasn't it? If you're a historian and a person on mission, you will see that Germany was wiped out after Hitler. People colonized Germany, cut it into the east and the west. Those who remained in the west were prosperous. Those who remained in the east were not prosperous. But today, when you go to that line, I've walked up to the Berlin, the Great Wall, the dividing green, very dangerous wall, where millions and millions of people were killed because they wanted to cross. Germany today is an empire. So what people will remember Uhuru Kenyatta is, they will remember when they see Ruto doing something very bad. And Ruto's economy, if he ever comes to power in Kenya, which I don't think he will come to power, will be an economy of gamblers, traders who gamble, mafia, who kill people, who come assassinate people. That's the time, that's where we are going back. And the time has come for us to speak about it honestly. You know, I was telling people that Ruto is Fenoni Fanzi. Fenoni Fanzi. In 1980 in Uganda, we put an election, my dear sister Gladwell. And I want to tell people here who don't know, who think that some of us don't have the history. 1980 in Uganda, there was an election, the only election I managed in Africa to vote in Africa. I have never voted again in Africa, but I've been voting for 37 years in London. Let me tell you, 1980, we put an election, pitting President Museveni, the current, Obote, Semogerere, and others. This election, ilianza na vitisho, threats. It is not well organized. It is not done this. It is not done that. It is true. And I have been on record here to tell the world that truly the 1980 Uganda election was a sham. And may Obote, wherever he is in the grave, know that I have apologized on his behalf. We did a sham election. That sham election forced Museveni, after the announcement of his own results, where he did not manage to pass in your own home. I want to be very honest, he did not win a vote in his own home. His own people at home rejected him. President Museveni went to the bush and came back for us. Disrupted us until, to be honest, he hammered us until our generals, only generals, General Tito Okello, General Basilio, on 27th of July, Saturday, 10 o'clock. The coup started at night. We departed that country 10 o'clock Saturday. Some of us, Obote came to Kenya, we came to Nairobi. Some of us, where we are, this is where we are. Because of bad manners of democracy, bad manners of elections, bad manners of this type of Ruto. So when I tell you that Ruto is a student of Fenon Fanzi, he's not also different from Museveni. They are two, the ideas are the same. This is, I'm not talking about His Excellency, President Museveni, and I want him to know that I'm not talking about him. I'm just comparing his methods with the methods of Ruto. Because for me, I did what I could do for my country. And I'm a proud man. I can die today. I can go down. I brought peace in my country. There is no gun again in northern Uganda. The guns can come back, but not through me. I did my level best. I delivered a country peaceful to every Ugandan. Ruto is a man you must be careful about. Ruto is a man who's using Fenon Fanzi theory. The Fenon Fanzi theory is violence and violence and violence. If you have read the book, The Wretched of Earth, I want you to quote and read that book. Tonight or tomorrow, come back and tell me what type of tactics Ruto is using, including the tactics of poaching people. He's poaching people from other parties, you know, promising them money, yet the money was already stolen from the people. You make people poor. You make people, the theory of Fenon funds is once you make people poor, once you enslave them and bring in violence, and attribute that violence to the government. That is the theory. For students of political science, some of you who don't know it today, the people return on Uhuru Kenyatta and say, he has done nothing for us. That's the tactic Ruto has used on Uhuru Kenyatta in Kenya, in the mountain, in every mountain, valley, and hamlet of these areas. This is where we are now. We find ourselves in that Kwagamaya state, my dear sister, and I think we are going to be in that Kwagamaya state for some time. Because everybody here you talk, they say it was Uhuru's mistake. It was not Ruto. Here is a deputy president earning a salary, allowances, using government vehicles. And nobody in the government, in the IEBC, who is checking on this excessive usage of government resources into campaigns. You see, we are seeing the deputy president running with government vehicles to rallies. So here we are. We have a problem, and I think that problem could be a very dangerous problem shortly. So, coming back to the topic that we want to look at is Dr. Alfred Mutua a reflection of money, politics of money, and bad democracy? Is he? Thank you very much. So I think let's cross over to there is a public announcement there, the studio. We would like to hear what there is a press conference taking place of the Deputy President across. Please. Every time Africa conducts elections, you hear of African countries calling for donors. And donors coming in, European Union giving money for voter education, verification of voters, materials, voting materials. Some of these projects are done in conjunction with the donor countries. But has the donor become a burden on the economy? Or has the election become a burden on economy? On the economies of African countries, The answer is yes. If you look at most of the African countries, there's no African country that holds election without borrowing money from the donors. Why do we borrow money from the donors, then we refuse accountability? Because we have borrowed their money, you must tell them how much, how far, and how fair, how true, how transparent this election has been. But when it comes to telling the truth of transparency, credibility, openness of an election, African countries, most of them don't want to say fairness, free, fair elections, whether they were conducted freely, the donors' instructions. What does this do to the economy? An economy like Kenya that has just come out of COVID-19 thanks to President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta steering the country out of COVID-19. We should be applause. I don't know whether it's a true story that CNN had selected him as one of the prizes, the Nobel Prize winner. I don't know, Miriam, you have not checked that story. I don't know whether it is a true story. But I think Uhuru has handled, and I did handle, as far as Kenya's economy. Some of the economies in Africa are reeling from the bad pandemic that took place across the continent. We thank Uhuru for having steered us through this hardship. But when it comes an election on top of this after the hardship, are we pay for these elections ourselves? Yes, partly the money is got, borrowed. We borrow money. But do we get value for this election? Do we get value? Doesn't it affect our economy? You are borrowing 62 billion shillings to pump into an exercise of 6 hours. Because in Kenya, the climax is 6 hours. The rest of the money is either corruptly eaten by clerical officers, the chairman of these commissions, the managing directors of these commissions in purchasing.
To join the Azimio political configuration. Unfortunately and regrettably, Pamoja African Alliance had to opt out midway of Azimio for 3 fundamental reasons. Reason number 1, why we walked away from Azimio. The legal process for PA to be legally in Azimio could not be completed, as it was frustrated by the flat refusal of Azimio to make available a copy of the Azimio agreement, which would have enabled PA to table the same before our neck for ratification as demanded by the party constitution. Reason number 2, the dealings in Azimio are shrouded in disturbing deep secrecy and mistrust. Consultations and decisions are made by a few and forced down the throats of the majority of the constituent parties. Number 3, due to the above 2 reasons, it became difficult for PA to pursue its 3-item agenda for and on behalf of our people within the Azimio configuration. Apart from the usual rhetorics during political gatherings, there is absolutely nothing to show in terms of commitment for the coastal people in the Azimio configuration. In the past and during campaigns, presidential candidates have always verbally promised the coast people heaven, only to forget what they promised once they got into power. This time, the coast people were not going to accept anything short of a written commitment that can legally be enforced. Therefore, as a party, we had to seek for alternative partners who were willing to commit in writing the implementation of the 3 primary agenda facing the coastal people. After short but deep and intense engagement with the Kenya Kwanza Alliance partners, PAR signed a pre-election agreement detailing how the 3 agenda items will be addressed immediately Kenya Kwanza Alliance forms government after the 2022 general elections. And for avoidance of doubt, the agreement provides, amongst other things, that upon winning the presidential election scheduled for the 9th of August 2022, Kenya Kwanza Alliance administration shall ensure the following within the 2022-2027 development cycle. Number 1, reverse all operational changes that have been carried out in the recent past, whose effect has been to relocate some of the core activities of the Kenya's main seaport from Mombasa to inland depots in Nairobi and Naivasha. To this end, the necessary administrative and legislative measures shall be undertaken within a year, effective 9th August 2022. As you're aware, the port operations have all been moved inland, and that has caused immeasurable sufferings to the people of the coast region. Hence the need to reverse that. 2, put in place necessary reforms to ensure the Port of Lamu brings measurable employment and other economic benefits to the local communities. 3, revive the cashew nut, coconut, and bixia industries, especially in the coast region, by funding the same. 4, involve local communities in the management and benefit sharing of the resources associated with the blue economy. 5, establish a benefit sharing arrangement between the national government and the local communities in the coast region in respect to mining and other natural resources. 6, review the Coast Guard Act and other laws to enhance the protection of local communities' fishing and other economic activities. Number 7, address the historical land injustices, especially at the coast, including necessary reforms of relevant laws and the setting up of a land compensation fund to assist the locals to progressively acquire or purchase land from absentee landlords. To this end, budgetary allocations shall be provided for to achieve these aims effective 9th August 2022 for the entire 5-year period. Number 8, promote inclusivity of residents of the coastal region into the management and equitable benefit sharing of the national assets located at the coast. Lastly, ensure equitable representation of residents of the coast region in national government appointments and the equitable representation in all cadre of civil service, disciplined forces, Kenya's diplomatic staff, and all sectors of the public service. So these are the core issues that PAR brought to Kenya Kwanza, and we are happy to announce that all these issues have been captured well in the written agreement that was signed on the 8th of May between PAR and Kenya Kwanza. Now, for the reasons outlined above, we have no doubt that once Kenya Kwanza Alliance forms government, a new chapter that will bring hope to our people will officially begin.
Naam, hayo ni yale yanaendelea katika mtaa wa Karen ambapo chama cha PAR rasmi kimejiunga na Kenya Kwanza wakiweza kupokea hapo awali na naibu rais William Ruto pamoja.
Ladies and gentlemen and fellow Kenyans, truth and openness, keeping one's word and sincerity are important attributes in any political relationship. Politics is about self-interest of political parties and players. According to our Kenyan constitution, one cannot be forced to be in an association or relationship that they do not want to be in because it is not healthy for them. Maendeleo Chapchap is one of the founding parties of Azimio. We entered into the Azimio wagon committed to principles of fairness and transparency and inclusivity. Our party is a party on an upward trajectory. In the last elections, despite being just a few months old, Maendeleo chapter party garnered a governor and deputy governor position. We won 4 parliamentary seats and close to 40 MCA seats countrywide. These coming elections, we expect to do much better. With these factors in mind, we, as minded,
what they're looking for is to end the derogatory and demeaning title of being called squatters in an independent country. That has to end. And it cannot end through promises. It can only end through commitment to walk that journey. And we're happy that that journey has officially begun. Now, for this to happen, Kenya Kwanza must form government. And that's why I call upon my brothers and sisters in Coast Region that the failing of Kenya Kwanza to capture government on the 9th of August 2022 will spell doom to us as a region. If Kenya Kwanza goes down on the 9th of August 2022, so will our dream as a region. We have a commitment in Kenya Kwanza. We have rhetorics on the other side. That is the difference. We have been accused of all sorts after signing this agreement, that we've been playing both sides. We have been told that we were demanding to get a copy of the agreement because we wanted to use it to benchmark. To benchmark what? Kenya Kwanza and Azimio are two different legal entities. One is a political party, the other is a coalition. So how do you benchmark the two? If you want to fly a plane, you don't go to a car yard to benchmark. But we know why we're here. Our reason to come to Kenya Kwanza is driven by the desire to finally find a solution to the problems facing our people. Securing positions, we could have secured individual positions in Azimio. But that is not our intention as PAR. And I've been telling people that in fact, our first intention was not to form a political party. At the time PAR was being formed, this country had over 80 political parties. But we felt there was something missing. None of these parties felt the pain the cost person was feeling. And therefore, PAR was born. PAR is more than a political party. Ni kilio cha haki. Tunalilia haki na safari ya kupata haki yetu imeanza. The first thing is you need to trust your partner. If you're not willing to commit in writing, then you don't mean well for us. You don't mean well to us. If you really want to address the problems facing the coastal person, why is it so difficult to commit it in writing? But they can't. Why? Because they know they won't do it. That will not be tolerated by our people. And this time around, our people have said, look here, we are not going to accept nothing short of a written commitment. And thank you, Deputy President. Thank you with your Kenya Kwanza Alliance team for accepting to put these issues and taking them as a commitment that once you're sworn in as the 5th president of this country, you will address these issues. Not everybody who calls upon the Lord's name will go to heaven. Not everybody who calls himself the 5th becomes the 5th. Power today brings to this team a lot of determination and energy to win the elections. That's what we bring to this team. We bring good faith. To the Kenya Kwanza Alliance team, as a party, we have just walked away from dishonesty. We hope we don't find it here. We have walked away from mistrust. We hope we don't get it here. We have walked away from political deceit. We hope we don't get it here. We hope that respect and trust will be the glue that binds this alliance. In power, you have a formidable partner. In power, we talk less and do more. We will do whatever is within our powers to look for votes where we can. Na kama nilivyokuambia, signing of this agreement, or other agreements, is the easiest thing to do. Everybody can sign a coalition agreement, but not everybody can win an election. We have done the easy part, Bwana Chief Hustler. We have done the easy part of signing this agreement. It is the easiest thing to do. Now, we need to fold the sleeves, go to the villages, scale the mountains, descend the valleys, and bring the presidency home. It can be done, and it shall be done with God on our side. Waswahili wanasema kupanda mchongoma si ngoma. Ngoma ni kushuka mchongoma. Kutia mikataba kama hii si huja. Mtu yoyote yule anaweza kutia sahihi mikataba kama hii. Lakini kilichobaki ni kufunga vibwebwe, kukunja mikono ya mashati, kukunja masuruali yetu, na tukubali kuingia katika mashimo, kwenda vitongojini, kupanda milima, kuteremka mabonde, kuhakikisha kwamba tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 tunakuchagua kama rais wetu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, kama rais wa 5. Na tunajua kwa nguvu ya Mwenyezi Mungu, amen, utapishwa kama rais wa 5 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Sisi hatupigi kifua. Hiyo ni biashara ya kule tulikotoka. Sisi hatumimini wala kumwaga matusi. Hiyo ni biashara tuliacha kule tumetoka. Sisi tumekuja kwa unyenyekevu na heshima. Na ombi letu ni kwamba yale yote ambayo yamefanya tuchukue virago tuje hapa, tusiyapate mambo haya katika upande huu. Na uzuri ni kwamba tumepata hakikisho sahihi kwamba katika sehemu hii ama katika Kenya Kwanza Alliance, heshima ndio kitu cha kwanza. Respect. Hiyo ndo tunahitaji. Manake Mungu japo akatumba tofauti, lakini sote ni viumbe vyake na tunastahili kuheshimu ama kumheshimu mwenzako. Kwa hivyo kama paa, sisi tuko tayari kuchana mbuga. Kama paa, tutapaa kama ule paa ule mbugani. Kuhakikisha kwamba baada ya kupaa huku kote, tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mwaka huu, tunatua katika ikulu ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. Ukiangalia yale matakwa yote ambayo nimezungumzia kuhusu wakazi wa pwani, hii yote inaashiria kitu kimoja tu: kumtoa mtu wa kawaida, kumtoa mwananchi wa kawaida kutoka hali ya ufukara na kumleta katika hali ambayo anaweza kumudu hali ya maisha. Nasikia hiyo hapa kwenyu mnaita bottoms up.
Bottom up.
Hapa mnaita hivyo, sio? We have to take the biggest population of this country that is wallowing in poverty from where they are, from the state of hopelessness, to a state where they can proudly say, I'm a Kenyan. And I believe with what PAS stands for and what Kenya Kwanza stands for, Kenyans have reasons to smile once Kenya Kwanza administration is in place. We thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you. Very good. My good brother Amason Jeffa Kingi and the Kenya and the Pamoja African Alliance team. Two things. The party leader of PAR has confirmed that we have made a commitment as Kenya Kwanza that the issues they have brought to the table on matters to do with the land, on matters to do with the economy of the coast region, on matters to do with public service inclusivity for the people from the coast region, are matters that we have not only agreed, but we have made as a commitment by Kenya Kwanza. And we have signed into that commitment because we have every intention, commitment, and belief that we will deliver on this commitment. And I want to confirm to the Pamoja African Alliance team that there is a world of a difference from where you are coming from and Kenya Kwanza. Kenya Kwanza is an alliance of Democrats, of the willing. I am sure you know, on the other side, people are forced, coerced, blackmailed, and threatened to belong to the other side. When I hear the people on the other side saying there was an attempt at benchmarking. How can there be benchmarking between darkness and the light? There is nothing that we have in common with the people on the other side. The journey to the alliance of the willing already started when we had the first meeting with our PAR colleagues. Different from the agreement they signed on the other side, which they were never allowed to read, which they don't have a copy. Here, they had days to read the agreement we had with them. They even had days to improve on the agreement we had with them. And they have copies of the agreement we have signed with them. So there is a world of a difference between us and the other side. The other side use force. Here we use respect. The other side are deep in secrecy, deceit, and conmanship. Here we are an open, transparent coalition of Democrats, the free and the willing. So we want to tell our friends on the other side, good people, there is nothing that we share with your modus operandi. There is nothing to benchmark between Kenya Kwanza and the other group. I also want to say that on the matters that my good brother Amason Kingi, on matters to do with the port, it was never the intention of the government of Kenya to build the SGR so that the coast can be impoverished. That was never the intention. In fact, the converse was the intention. The SGR was meant to make the port much more efficient, better, and to improve the business and the fortunes of the people in the coast. Unfortunately, a few people took hostage the whole program and ended up with selfish programs that benefit a few people to the detriment of the entire population of the coast people. And we have made a commitment that administrative issues, legal issues, we are going to undertake both administrative and legal steps to reverse what has become the biggest impoverishment of the people of Mombasa and the coast in its entirety. The commitment to having resources allocated so that the people of the coast can progressively begin to acquire land from absentee landlords is a commitment Kenya Kwanza has made to the people of the coast and to the people of Kenya. The issue of people living as squatters in their own country in the 21st century, 60 years or 50-something years after independence, is not something that anybody would want to second guess. That is a matter brought to the table by PAR, and we have given a commitment as Kenya Kwanza that we will work together beginning on the 9th of August to travel that journey and get the people of Kenya to be, the people of the coast especially, and the rest of the people of Kenya to live in their country, not as squatters, but as citizens and owners of land in their country. So again, let me say, on all our behalf, we welcome PAR and team to Kenya Kwanza. We give you our commitment that together with you, we will work tirelessly to change the foundation of our country and to get rid of deceit and conmanship from the politics of our country. It is the least we can do for the people of Kenya. You have said correctly that you're committed to this journey and you will roll up your sleeves. And I want to tell you, we will walk together. We are as determined as you are in making sure that the elections of 9th August this year are won decisively by the Kenya Kwanza team. I told you earlier that those of us who are in Jubilee know how effective and how committed and how efficient you and your team are, because we were victims in Kilifi especially, where as Jubilee, we didn't get even an MCA seat in that county because you worked so hard to make sure that the side you belonged to that time won the election. So we are confident that if you bring the same zeal into Kenya Kwanza, we have no doubt in our minds that Kilifi will be 98% Kenya Kwanza, and the rest of the coast will follow. Thank you very much. Let me maybe request a few of our leaders just to say one or two things before we take some questions. Maybe I will start with Hassan. Where is Hassan? Hassan, 1 minute, Hassan, from Lamu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kwa ndugu zetu wa Kristo, God is good all the time, and that is the nature of God. Sisi
Well, live pictures from the official residence of...
Ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Kenyans, truth and openness, keeping one's word and sincerity are important attributes in any political relationship. Politics is about self-interest of political parties and players. According to our Kenyan constitution, one cannot be forced to be in an...
Viewers, we have been watching and listening to Kenya Kwanza press conference, where the party leader of Pwani African Party joined Kenya Kwanza, the side that is in the 2022 general elections. There are sentiments that have been said here which are not very true, but it is up to the other side, Azimio's spokesman and their group, to answer critically some of these allegations. One of the things that Azimio is not doing very well is they are not answering from time to time comments made by their opponents. And as you know, this is now a digital age. And once there is a digital age and, you don't answer back, you don't, brief your supporters, it will be taken for being the honest thing that the other side has said. So I don't know what has happened to Kenya, to Azimio group. It doesn't have people answering back. It does not have rebuttal statements coming out in time. People are still squabbling while this guy is coming out. You bring up, we are shaming ourselves. And that's why some of us went to miles and extent last night to even reach out to quietly to people like family or relatives or friends of Kalonzo. Some of us did not know Kalonzo through himself. We knew him through friends. I've been a friend of Kalonzo since 2002, 2003, when I was introduced at his fundraising for Kalonzo Foundation, Kalonzo Musyoka Foundation, which had come with Sky News, and we wanted to take pictures and see whether we can promote him. From then, anyway, we have been good friends. When we meet, he doesn't ask who is this one. So we had to go through some leaders in the region also to say, hey, what is going on? Well, don't break up these things. And I'm happy it is going back. He's going to talk. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's look at the newspaper. Uhuru to begin campaigns as Ruto hits Raila. Yes, Uhuru to begin campaigns. I think it's long overdue. Kalonzo, Ruto will win big if Raila snubs me. Yes, because I don't know whether it's going to go there. Now he has come. This is past. Then the Daily Nation, the undesirables, the people who face court cases. The other time I did not want to talk about this, and when you hear somebody who has eaten $5 billion is going to stand as a governor again to eat more. It's very painful for the state of Africa. Under the integrity, IBC said its hands are tied by legal precedents in Kenyatta Ruto ICC case. That is rubbish. You see, when you see the ICC reasoning like this, it's a complete madness. It's complete madness, surely. Can you put that paper on the screen? Are you putting it on the screen? Yes. It's complete madness. The ICC case, those were summons. And that's international law. But the local law, the local jurisdiction does not allow. That's why corruption here will never be fought. So they have left it to go that way. I think someone in this thing is playing the Trojan horse. I even don't know what it is actually. Most of the time you waste a lot of time and energy. The people doing these things are well known, and that is it. Let's look at international news. On international news, we have the nation of Nigeria. Jonathan, I didn't authorize group to obtain APC form. There's also elections there next year, and there is quite a lot of fight around there. And then the punch is INE, Independent Nigerian Electoral Commission. Here we have Independent Kenya Electoral Commission, CBN partnership under threat over MFL's APC membership. Then Daily News of Zimbabwe activists need to modify strategies. Yeah, they said people should not come. They came very many to work and open the shops in Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission has asked the people to prove that they rig polls. I don't know who is going to prove. Then the Daily Monitor of Uganda, science teachers go on strike over pay. And and 4 men arrested with UPDF uniforms and guns, sucked into Sri Lanka. Uganda now sucked into Sri Lanka political crisis. I don't know what has happened there. Have they gone there also? This is a very big, disturbing report from the New Vision of Uganda. It said 14 million Ugandans are mentally sick. Woo! I don't know whether we are okay. And then Queen to miss state opening of Parliament. She's very frail and she will miss it for some time. And United Kingdom is trying to join EU again, outering. Why did they leave? That is the Guardian, that is the Daily Telegraph of Britain. And the Guardian said, Ministry stalls investment in key coal, iron projects, MPs. Tanzania carbon, the Guardian, Tanzanian carbon trade profile up with trouble heat. The citizen of Tanzania, Analish Lake Tanganyika Trade Potential Government urged there's a lot of good trade around that port of between carrying goods from that side to this one. Okay, Chadema, the top party, is supposed to make a decision on 19 MPs, whether they are those who did not stand on Chadema ticket. And that is the end of our story this morning. Thank you very much. This is Punchline Africa Television. I've been broadcasting on behalf of Punchline Africa. Today, Miriam is out on another assignment. She will be back later on in the afternoon with their separate dispatches. Thank you very much. But coming up top of the hour is Diplomatic Links, the African story. We are going to look at the failed uprising in Zimbabwe that was supposed to take place yesterday. What lessons do we learn from this? How many people are learning from this? Thank you.